welcome to Corfu, Greece. We're having a week's holiday in Corfu Town. We're going to have a little butchers around as usual, have a look to see what there is to see, what they have to eat, and more importantly what they have to drink on the odd occasion. I'll probably reference it loads of times during the week. It is absolutely scorchio. Little known fact that Corfu is about half a mile from the surface of the sun. It's the hottest I've been in a long time, and we've had plenty and plenty to drink. Hopefully it'll give you a few choices and selections to go through. We just got the Museum of Asian Art in the background, which we went round. Wasn't that great, but the old British staterooms that are in there are pretty interesting. But let's get on with the trip, have some food, and we'll have a few drinks, keep ourselves well hydrated, and see how the week goes. Welcome to Corfu. In Bristol Cafe in the centre of Corfu Town, and this is on the main sort of pedestrian bar street, runs all the way down to the even older fortress at one end, through to the church down the other. Seems really popular with the locals. We're going to start with a Corfu beer, a red ale by Corfu Microbrewery. Let's see how this looks. Nice little head on there, looks quite fizzy. Corfu Microbrewery is based on Corfu, as you imagine, sort of over towards the north of the island. We do about 15 different beers, so we'll probably work our way through quite a lot of these during the week. Let's see how this tastes. It's like an American red ale, so like an Irish one is really smooth and creamy. This is a little bit more harsh, but has that underlying sweetness, I suppose, where they run the malt through on the ale just to finish it, give it that lovely red sort of colouring. It's very nice and sweet, very refreshing. It's still 24 degrees at nearly midnight, so it's absolutely sweltering, and these taste really refreshing. That's a top quality beer. It's a really nice setting, plenty of light traffic going up and down and people sitting and having a beer. We've managed to pick up a Mai Tai, the Vicky can, which she's going to enjoy in a minute. We'll try a few more. Yamas. Welcome to Josephine, which is in the Liston Arcade in Corfu Town. A really nice Venetian sort of slash British architectural job they've done down the outside. Josephine's a little nod to the Napoleonic rule that used to be back here when the French owned it, way back in the 1700s. And we're trying a local speciality, which is an espresso Freddo, named after Freddo Corleone. Someone betrayed, who knows? Let's give this a try. It's a coffee with like a frapped milk over ice. Cheers. It's ice cold, you get loads and loads of coffee, and there's just a really nice little milky sort of finish. It's a really good spot just to dive out of the sun, because it's about 35 degrees today and really feels like it. We'll take our time and sit with this and cool down and go on to somewhere else. Cheers. Taking a break from the sun in Strada Cafe, which is just down by the water's edge in the new port. We do lots of different sort of Corfu microbrewery ones here in bottles, but they do have this Lola IPA on draft, which is by Pineios Brewery, based in Larissa on mainland Greece. This was €7, but it's a 6% American IPA, so hopefully it'll be very, very quaffable. really nice bitter after finish that you get with a classic American IPA. But a really nice citrus hit up front, and it's really nice and cool being from the draft rather than from the bottle. This tastes very nice. Yeah, it's definitely much more hops than we've got in most local beers so far. This will probably last about 5 minutes as we sit out the sun. It's still about 35 degrees. But we'll have one more and then we'll carry on. Cheers. Just doing a bonus video because we haven't quite spotted this in any of the bars. But if you go through the shopping streets, along with the little bottles of ouzo, you might see these little vials, small bottles of Kumquat Liquor. I know that's sort of like quite Chinese in Japanese, but apparently some botanist called Sidney Merlin, well, fabulous name, in the 1800s, brought these across from his travels, and they make loads of this in north of Corfu. Most of it is turned into this sort of liquor or into marmalades, so it's 15% for only €2.80, so give it a try. Had it on ice in the freezer just for a while, just to try and take the harshness out of it. It smells quite sharp. See what it tastes like. Cheers. It's really orangey, almost like cow pulp. So it tastes really thick, syrupy. Slight burn on the way down, but it doesn't taste as alcoholic as it smells. I imagine after a large meal that's probably quite pleasant. But yeah, really orangey, quite nice and worth a try if you see it. A couple of euros a bottle. Yamas. Big beer day when we're going to rattle down all of our favourite bars and come to Mikro Cafe, which just sets off the main shopping street in Corfu Town. It's all tucked underneath these arches just off the main street, but then they've also got like a little elevated section with loads of plants, which is really nice. We've got a Citra Crush by Seven Islands Brewery. Had this before, it's an absolute banger of a beer. So it was €7, which is a little bit expensive, but it's definitely going to be worth it. Let's pull this up. Nice thick stuff, quite a small little head on it, a little bit of juice at the end. Cheers. Oh, a big hit of orange, it's really juicy. And it finishes on like a nice little melony hop finish, which is really quite tasty. On a really hot day, which has been all week, but even more so today, that's really nice. Seven Islands they're based on Corfu. You don't see as much of them around as you do Corfu Microbrewery. So we'll have to see if we can hunt a few more down, because this is superb. Yamas. Welcome to Jasmine Bar, up at the top by the Venetian Fortress in Corfu Town. Really nice 90s groove going on in the background here, so had a shocking run on Hurdle this week, so this might be good revision for that. We found Corfu Microbrewery EPOS. This is an English barley wine, traditionally a winter drink because it's about 7%, but let's see how it goes when it's 30 degrees out. Real nice golden honey colour. Not much to smell to it, but let's give it a taste. Cheers. That's quite nice. It's a really nice honey smoothness to it. Get it at the front of your mouth. And then also when you swallow it down, and it really stays quite a long time. No alcohol harshness to it, it's really nice honey smoothness that goes all the way down. Really nice setting of a bar, just sort of like set up in the walls. It's got an old dilapidated church in the background. Really nice bit. Hulu gave you a tree in the back and smells really nice, and the music's really, really good. Can fully recommend this if you ever come back to Corfu Town to give it a try out. Yamas. End of the night, made it to Firi Beer House, which is just next door to Jasmine Cafe under the Venetian walls. We're having dessert. It's going to be dark crops, which is a high gravity stout at 10%, made in Athens in Greece rather than Corfu. I expect this will look like absolute engine oil. Absolutely glugging out. A little bit ahead. It smells really, really chocolatey and a little bit of licorice. Yeah, it's really, really thick. Loads of chocolate sort of finish. Lots of little bit of licorice there in the background. Can't taste the 10%, but it's nice, really nice and smooth. It's going to be really nice nightcap. Really cool bar. Sort of like shovels up into the hill. Loads of really nice lights. The beer Bible's about that thick. Pre-warned, it goes from Corfu Microbrewery all the way through to a bottle of Bud and a bottle of Peroni and a can of Guinness. But at least it's all in there if you want the option. Fully recommend it. Have every type of beer that you could ever want to have. Cracking place to come to. Yeah, man. Last beer of the holiday. We found an off license tonight, just if anyone fancies a few sundowners while they're in Corfu Town. It's called Cava Thimis, which I think it just translates as Wine's World, which is a great sort of like retro name. This is a triple IPA called Ajax 2, which is by Sori Brewing, who are based in Tallinn, Estonia, we've got a lot of time for, and also Seven Islands, based in Corfu. It looks an absolute beast. We're back in the hotel, so apologise for the tiny little thimble of a cup. It smells really strong, there's loads of hops, it's quite thick, really nice head on it. Give this a try, cheers. Not as strong as you might think. It's got that thick, viscousy, almost jammy type deeper taste, but without the burn. You can't tell this is 9% at all. It's really quite nice. Lots of melon and lots of hops forward. Yeah, that's good. That's nice. This will finish off the holiday quite nicely. Beers in there are about €6 each, so a lot cheaper than you would find them in the pubs. There's just a tiny little fridge down to the back end corner, but I reckon they have a selection of about 20 beers in there, so you can go in there, fill up, and you'll probably find it's much better than just the Alpha and General lagers in the hotel and the local supermarkets. We've had a brilliant sort of time. I'd say Josephine's is probably the best bar based in the Lincoln Arcade, just purely for beers. Definitely head to Firi. Their beer Bible has been superb. Looking forward to getting back to something that's about 20 degrees, but it's been a superb week. Can't recommend Corfu Town enough. Till the next time, yamas.